Now we can see about the slime molds. So this is another group which comes under the kingdom Protista. So in the previous class we have seen up to euglenoids, isn't it? Now next is slime molds. So when we see about the slime molds, they are saprophytes. What do you mean by saprophytes? They are organisms which depend upon dead and decayed organic matter. So they get their food from the dead and decayed organic matter. Such organisms are called as saprophytes. Okay. So they are similar to that of fungi. Okay. Now when you see about these slime molds, they are not surrounded by a cell wall. They do not have a cell wall. They are having a mass of protoplasm. Okay. A mass of protoplasm is there. So this mass of protoplasm will be moving along the decaying organic matter. So if any decaying part of a plant is there on the soil, above that it will be moving, like twigs may be there or leaves may be there or any other part of the plant. If it is there on the soil surface, then this mass of protoplasm will be moving along that, above that, and while it is moving, it will be engulfing this organic matter. Engulfing means it will take inside. Okay, into that protoplasm it will take inside, so that they can get the food from that. Okay, so what are saprophytes? These are organisms which depend on the dead and decayed organic matter for their food. Okay, so as this slime molds are not having a cell wall, the mass of protoplasm will be moving along the dead and decayed organic matter, and it will be engulfing this organic matter. Okay, now during favorable condition, this mass of protoplasm will aggregate together and they form a structure called a plasmodium. So what is this plasmodium? This is not the plasmodium which causes malarial disease. Okay, this is the plasmodium which is formed due to the aggregation of this mass of protoplasm. So when favorable condition is there, suitable condition is there, this mass of protoplasm will be joining. More and more such masses of protoplasm will join together and they will be developing into a structure called a plasmodium. Actually it will be having many nuclei in it. Okay, a mass of protoplasm with many nuclei in it. So each nuclei is not surrounded by a membrane. Okay, yes. So that is plasmodium. So this plasmodium can grow and spread even to several feet. So to too much extent it can be growing. Okay, to several feet it can be growing. Yes, and suppose if unfavorable condition arises, then what will happen? This plasmodium will be differentiating into this fruiting bodies. What is this fruiting body? See, if you take a plant, you can see a fruit. Inside the fruit you can see the seed. The seeds will be falling down and it develops into the new plant, isn't it? The next generation will be formed. Same way, in lower organisms like the slime molds, or even if you take the fungi, there a structure will be formed called the fruiting body. Just like a fruit in the plant, here it is said to be as a fruiting body. And this fruiting body will be developing during the unfavorable conditions, when the conditions are not favorable for them to survive. Now, what do you mean by that unfavorable condition? That is when the temperature increases. You know that most of these organisms can grow, especially in humid or moist conditions. Okay, it should be little warm, but humidity or moisture should be there. If that is there, that is the essential condition for them to grow. Suppose if humidity is not there and if the temperature is very high, then these organisms may not be able to survive. Okay, so at that time what happens? They will be producing fruiting bodies. I hope you are able to follow this. So during unfavorable condition, this plasmodium will be producing fruiting bodies, and from that fruiting bodies they will be producing the spores. That is, at the tip of that fruiting bodies it will be bearing the spores. Okay, and actually these spores are having cell wall. Okay, this plasmodium is not having a cell wall, but the spores are having a cell wall. Okay, a true cell wall is present. So this cell wall, which is present in this pose, can help them to withstand any extreme conditions. Okay, so it is resistant to any extreme condition, that is high temperature or salinity, whatever it is, it can withstand that, and they can develop into a new slime mold when favorable condition arises. Okay, only when favorable condition arises, this pose will be developing into a new slime mold. Okay, now it can this pose can remain as such for several years, because they are having a true cell wall which can withstand the high temperature or any extreme conditions, and so they can survive for several years. Okay, and this pose can be dispersed, it can be spread through the air currents. Okay, when the air is blowing, it can carry these minute spores, and wherever it falls down there, if the favorable condition is there, that is moisture is there, then it can develop into a new slime mold. Okay, I hope you might have understood the slime mold. Now the next group of organisms which comes under kingdom Protista is protozoans. All the protozoans are heterotrophs. Okay, that means they depend on other organisms for their food. Okay, now it can be predators or parasites. Heterotrophs in the sense they may be predators or parasites. Predators means they will be feeding upon other minute organisms, or they will be living in the body of other organism, that is the host organism, and from their body they can get the food. That we say it as parasites. So predators means they feed upon other organisms. Parasites means they live on the body of other organisms and they get their food from that organism. Okay, that is parasites. So they can be predators or parasites. Okay, and these protozoans are believed that they are the primitive relatives of the animals. Okay, they are the primitive relatives of animal. What do you mean by that? Here the protozoans are not surrounded by cell wall. They are surrounded only by the cell membrane. Okay, and animals are having a cell membrane. Animal cells, if you see, it is surrounded by cell membrane, not a cell wall, isn't it? So earlier the biologists were thinking that the protozoans belong to the animal kingdom. But later, when the 5 kingdom classification was given, then only it was separated into this into different kingdom, that is the kingdom Protista. Okay, earlier it was thought that these were related to animals, so they included this protozoans under the kingdom Animalia. Okay, yes. And if you see the slime mold, it can act as a plant or an animal also, isn't it? Or even fungi. Yes, saprophytes means fungi. They don't have cell wall, so it behaves like an animal cell. And the spores are having the true cell wall, so it behaves like that of a plant. But it is not having a clear differentiation, isn't it? That's why it is included under the kingdom Protista. Okay, now coming back here. Protozoans, so they are heterotroph. Predators are parasites and they don't have a cell wall, so they are considered as the relatives of animals. Now it is divided into 4 major groups. What are the groups? Amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and the sporozoans. Now what is amoeboid protozoan? Again, from the name you can say amoeba-like, isn't it? These protozoans are amoeba-like. Normally they can be seen in the fresh water or even in seawater, that is marine water, or wherever moisture content is there in the soil, there also it can be seen. Okay, so it is seen in, or it lives in fresh water, marine water, or even in moist soil. Okay. Now, this amoeba will be moving around by producing pseudopodia. Now, what is the pseudopodia? Pseudo means false, poda means what? Feet or leg. Okay, pseudo means false and poda means feet. So pseudopodia means using a false leg. What do you mean by that false leg? They will not produce a leg, but their cytoplasm will be extending. Okay, along with the membrane, the cytoplasm will be extending, and that will act like a feet. That's why it is said to be a pseudopodia. Okay, so with that pseudopodia, this amoeboid protozoans will be moving, and even for capturing their food or their prey, also they use this pseudopodia. Okay, so pseudopodia is used for capturing the food, as well as it is used for locomotion or for movement. Okay, now some of these organisms are having a silica shell. Outer to the body surface, they are having a silica shell. Okay, just like the diatoms, here also they are having silica. Okay, now some can act as parasites. See, already we have seen that some are parasites, isn't it? So here there is a organism called Entamoeba. Its scientific name is Entamoeba histolytica. So this Entamoeba histolytica, which is also an amoeboid protozoan, it causes the disease called amoebiasis, or another name for that disease is amoebic dysentery. Okay, so it can enter through the contaminated water, and it can cause the disease called the amoebiasis, or we can say it as amoebic dysentery. Okay, so this is about the amoeboid protozoans. Next is flagellated protozoans. Again, from the name you can say flagellated. That means they are having flagella. So with the help of that flagella, they will be moving. Okay, flagella is used for a movement. Okay. Now, these flagellated protozoans are free living, or they live as parasites on other organisms' body. Okay, and they are having this flagellated protozoans. One example of that is Trypanosoma. Full name is Trypanosoma gambiens. This Trypanosoma gambiens can cause a disease called sleeping sickness. It is a parasitic form. Okay, Trypanosoma gambiens is a parasitic form, and it causes the disease called sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness means always the patient will be sleeping. Okay, because their brain will be affected. So that is about the flagellated protozoans. That means most of them are having the flagella for their locomotion. Locomotion means what? Moving from one place to another place. And one example for that is Trypanosoma gambiens. Okay, now next is ciliated protozoans. What is ciliated? Again, we can say cilia is present. So their body is surrounded by cilia. So here you can see this is paramecium. This is an example. So here the body is surrounded by cilia. See, when it is having a flagella, normally the number will be limited. Okay, 1 or 2 flagella will be there. But if you see an organism with the cilia, they will be having thousands of cilia. That is, large number of cilia will be there. The size will be small, but their number will be more. Okay, now these are the aquatic organisms, and they move very fast. Okay, these organisms are having the capacity to move very fast. Why? Because due to the beating of the cilia, coordinated movement of the cilia, their body can be pushed forward, so that this organism is having the capacity to move very fast. Okay. Now if you see, here there is a cavity called what? Gullet. Okay, it is a unicellular organism only. This paramecium, it is having an opening called what? Gullet. So through this gullet, the water will be entering into the cell. So along with the water, the food can also enter. Okay, so through the gullet, the water enters into the cell. Along with water, the food can also enter into it. So how the water is allowed to enter here? It is due to the coordinated movement of the cilia. Okay, so the cilia which is present on the outer surface of this gullet will be coordinated. It will be moving in a coordinated manner. As a result, the water can be allowed to enter inside through this gullet or through this opening. Okay, so along with that water, the food will also be entering inside, and thus it can take the food from that water. Okay, thus it gets the food. I hope you are able to follow it. Example is Paramecia. Now next is Sporosovens. Again, this also we can say they are spore bearing organism because the name is like that, isn't it? From the name we can say it is a sporo, means spore bearing organism. That means at least in any stage they will be having a spore like structure will be formed. Okay, or we can say a spore like stage will be formed in any time in their life cycle. Okay, at any time in their life cycle they can produce a spore or they can form a spore like a stage. That's why these are called as what? Sporosovens. Okay, and as they are producing spores, normally they will be parasites. Okay, normally these sporosovens are parasites, and one of the common example is this Plasmodium. You all may be familiar with it. This Plasmodium causes the disease called the malaria. The human population used to get affected by this disease, malaria, which is caused by the pathogen called the Plasmodium. Different types of Plasmodium are there, like Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, or Plasmodium falciparum. All these will be causing malaria. Okay, and it is transmitted through the female Anopheles mosquito. Okay, that also you may be familiar with. So that is about this Sporosovens, and that's all about the kingdom Protista. Okay, I hope you might have understood this.